Hello everyone, my name is Garrett Kransky and I'm here today to provide you with all the information you need as a school transportation official to understand and participate in Oregon's Volkswagen Environmental Mitigation Plan. Since 2009, the Volkswagen Group of America sold diesel passenger cars in the United States with emission-controlled defeat devices that violated federal motor vehicle emission standards. Software was installed in more than 590,000 vehicles that resulted in emissions of nitrogen oxides up to 40 times the allowable limits. The resulting lawsuits were resolved in a partial consent decree, essentially a settlement against Volkswagen on behalf of the United States and vehicle owners. The decree requires Volkswagen to provide more than $2.9 billion to an environmental mitigation fund to mitigate previous and current excess emissions of nitrogen oxides by these non-compliant vehicles. The initial allocation to the state of Oregon, based on the registration share of Volkswagen diesels by state, is approximately $72.9 million, to be spent over 10 years. The 2017 Oregon legislature determined that Oregon's initial approach to reducing harmful diesel emissions will begin with the Department of Environmental Quality's School Bus Replacement and Emission Reduction Project. The plan for Oregon is to address at least 450 diesel-powered school buses with emissions reduction strategies, including either bus replacement or exhaust control retrofitting. The program is to scrap, recycle, and replace qualifying buses, offering 30% or up to $50,000 of the replacement bus costs, whichever is less. The new bus can be powered by new diesel, propane, natural gas, or electricity. The eligible buses for replacement are those in the 2006 and 2007 model years. In order for buses to be eligible, they must have at least 3 years of remaining useful life. They must have been used in Oregon in the preceding 12 months, and they must continue to operate in Oregon for at least 3 years following the program. DEQ will contact districts based on a lottery draw of numbers among qualified participants. We anticipate being able to write 6 to 8 agreements per month, so you can divide the list by those factors to get a rough idea of when we will be reaching out to you. Our estimates for processing all of the reimbursement grants range up to 4 years. I am committed to moving quickly and efficiently through this process to help you clean up your dirty diesel engines as fast as possible. During this training, we're going to focus on the details you need and the questions you have for DEQ. My goal is to provide you with the staff support you need so we can get to final signed grant agreements quickly. As your primary point of contact, when your number comes up, you'll receive a phone call and email from me to begin working together to reduce diesel emissions from your qualified bus or buses. During the early stages, we'll be signing a contract justification form and discussing the details of your grant agreement. Some of the items DEQ will need from you during this phase include confirmation of your number of qualified buses, an identification of the person who has signature authority on behalf of your school or district, initial indication of your preference of emissions reduction technology, the estimated contract amount, and the date when you'd like to begin work. For folks planning to replace old buses, this reimbursement program will support the acquisition of new buses. The new bus must be powered by an engine of 2018 or 2017 model year only. No used buses or used engines will be considered for reimbursement. For each grant agreement, you will need to provide a few key details about your school buses, including the school bus number, vehicle identification number, engine manufacturer, engine model, and engine model year. This slide shows an example of the detailed information you must provide for each eligible bus. This information will allow us to qualify your bus to participate in the program. We are especially interested in the engine model year. Your 2006 and 2007 buses are eligible for replacement because their older engine technology pollutes more than new diesel engines. They also have the longest remaining lifespan of older diesel buses, making them the highest priority for scrapping, recycling, and replacing. In order to help you find and fill out the required information about engine model year and family name, we'll include this guidance in your application materials. Hopefully you can use these photos and highlights to guide your research under the hood of eligible buses. Once we have a signed grant agreement in place, you will receive a notice to proceed. During that time, you can call on me to support your replacement and retrofit efforts. At the agreed upon end date of the project, you will need to provide certification and photos of the destruction of your 2006 or 2007 diesel school bus. This form, provided as attachment C in your application, is an example of the documentation and photos required to process your reimbursement. This concludes our brief training for how you can participate in Oregon's Volkswagen Environmental Mitigation Plan to replace at least 450 diesel school buses. Feel free to use my contact information to follow up with any questions you have, and I'm looking forward to working with you to help clean up our air.